hip-hop, he was like the first one out there, and he brought his, I forget what it was, probably like a '05 or something, but it was some kind of special Cuban edition, and he brought it, and we all ganged up at your house, because I remember your brother was already, had the record press and everything, so we were all, he can press records, and then that's the last time. And I think the last memory I have of your brother's wedding.
Oh,
like, right after that, I just have this vision of me being at that little church and over the car saying, congratulations, whatever. Yeah. And then, life's kind of, started.
Life takes over. Life takes over, dude. That's for sure, bro. Dude, well, you're looking good, brother. I know, you haven't been out there. You were, one of the reasons why I had to reach out to you, bro, because it's like, shit, Marc Anthony, bro, you were, I've been doing this podcast and just reaching out to people, trying to get their stories. And you have an incredible story, bro, because you were there from the beginning with my brother. It's like, there's so many flyers. I mean, I could go pull some out and they'll say, Marc Anthony, Marc Anthony, Marc Anthony, Marc Anthony.
Dude, I used to have a bunch of stuff. I lost them all.
No.
Yeah, and man, I used to have like a garbage bag full. Some of the stuff I didn't even go to, but just to say, hey, my name was on it. And I was working security in Marina Del Rey. Yeah. And the supposedly guy was an artist. Like, yeah, bring me some of your flyers. I want to do this and that. So I brought him the flyers, and then I quit the job or whatever happened. I came back maybe like months later looking for those flyers.
Yeah. Gone.
And I was like, I didn't know what to tell him. Like, man, you know what that was? That was like a lifetime worth of used store right there. Like, what did you even need them for anyway? I was just going off. There was like maybe 5 or 6 scattered in this locker where he supposedly had them, but I think they just threw them out, because he left and everything. I was like, I got molded. Oh, yeah, that was like the worst part right there. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm going over a whole garbage bag of my life, just like, and it was only a few years in that bag, but it was a lot of stuff, and it was pretty fun. I had a good run,
Yeah, to just kind of pull out and say, wow. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It not only shows you where you play, but also like the memories behind that one flyer.
Dude, everything. People that, friends that I don't keep in contact anymore that through those parties, I'm like, oh, shoot, that was him.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I lost them all. But if you got them, that's good, man.
I can make some copies. I'm going to start looking for your name everywhere. Make some copies.
That's so funny, good.
Yeah. Dude, but damn, dude. So, but yeah, like I said, I wanted to reach out to you, man, to just hear your story, man. We all have a story. And you have a really great one because you started DJing from way back when in the underground days, dude. With my brother, with a lot of the old school heads from the South Bay, and your name was everywhere. And people, when I go to some of these reunions, well, if I go to EDC, if I go Nocturnal, your name is always brought up by someone. They're like, yeah, remember that? Remember Marc Anthony? And I just kind of smile. I kind of smile. I smile. Say, yeah, I remember Marc Anthony. I know who he is. Yeah. Wow. I just start remembering. I was like, damn. I was like, Marc Anthony.
Yeah, I wish, I think that's part of my personality. I wish I kind of would have stuck with it. Like when I see like people like Machete and all this stuff still holding it down.
Yeah. Over 25 years. It's crazy.
But that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just do the thick and thin, and unpopular, popular, just stay your course and,
consistent, right? It's crazy.
And whatever rewards you're going to get, whatever, you're always going to have that consistent, die-hard base. And then, it'll go down and then explode with the more you stay with that course, man, you're just going to be rewarded. And, hands down, they're like, I don't know any other jungle club that's been around that long at all.
I don't know. Dude, I don't even know any other club, period, that's been around that long.
I didn't want to say that because I'm not all into the scene, so there could have been like 3 or 4. But, I mean, for going as long as they've been going on.
That's what, I mean, just a club. Just a club in general who's been going on for 25 years.
Yeah, there's not too many unless you're like Florentine Gardens type of stuff. There's not too many that
they're closed
at the time like that.
They're closed. They didn't survive.
Okay, well, whatever. There you go.
Respect beat them.
Dude, man. So now my hat's off to those and like Oscar. I used to trip out on the fly. Then my newer friends like Scuba.
Yeah.
on there and all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, dude, it's pretty cool how the system that they worked out. You know, that's why it went so long, is because they worked out a great system, bringing in artists, rotating DJs, so you don't got to worry about people stepping on people's toes all the time, and who gets the action, and just, man, I was like, whoever got their plan together, dude, it was great, man, because I don't know, man, they're doing good, right? Or I don't know about now, but that's definitely a club I look up to, and all those guys, I'm glad they stuck with it, unlike me just jumping boats from here to here to here.
Yeah, dude, that's a testament, man, to that Junglist platoon, Rob G and the crew. Big ups, big ups,
dude, man.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I remember when they started, I was just like, man, okay, do what you guys gonna do. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, man, dude. But tell us your story, bro. What I want to know is, how the hell did you get into DJing? How the beginning, bro? How did you pick up that first table? You know.
Oh man, well, I never have.
Now we're gonna go real back. We're going way back in the time.
I mean, I didn't even have my own tables till I was what 30 something. So all had it not been for, and I have to give just all credit to Bennis, Alex.
Dope, Alex, Bennis. Big ups, Bennis.
Yeah, I mean, we became friends, you know, probably through writing on the walls and stuff or whatever. But you know, I go hang out at his house, and I was a dancer. So that was, if I really want to back up, Raul was on your show not too long ago, bringing up him and Tony A.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we were exactly there that night, but we were at San Marica Hall all the time. And I was battling fools, dancing, had no clue what a DJ was, but I would hear it, you know, all the little repeats and all this other stuff. I was like, oh, what you doing? I'm going to just pop to it, but, you know, I don't know what's going on until I see this crowd at the front of the stage. I'm like, what are they doing? We're dancing over here. Why are they all huddled up over there? And it's because, you know, they're doing all this stuff, and I really didn't, you know, get a feel for it until, man, till the Doc Martin days. But I had I mean, that was my first vision of, okay, that guy on the turntables is doing something to attract some type of attention. He's controlling this music that we're dancing to.
Yeah.
You know, it just caught my interest, but not enough to where I want to go do it. You know, it didn't take until, like I said, Bennis came along, hanging out with him day in, day out. And he had a little system there because he would do like little parties, weddings, quinceañeras and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I was like, my first time I've even seen one up close, I was like, oh, you know, what the heck is all this? He had his little records over there. And at the time, that was all there was to do. He hadn't started doing parties or anything yet. So it just sat there and collecting dust. And I would just get up there and kind of mess around. He was trying to show me what it was, because I had no clue. And the only thing I knew was the scratch. I was like, can you scratch? You know, because you hear the song Rocket and all that stuff. And I knew
Herbie Hancock,
that thing or whatever. And then, you know, he had his little whatever it was back in the day. It was extremely limited. You know, I mean, all you had was kind of like a toggle switch.
Right, that's it.
Whatever. Yeah. And everybody,
up and down fader.
Yeah, you can only do so many Well, Cuba showed us different, but at the time there was only like so many styles you could bust with the, you know, with the knowledge. So we didn't go heavy into the scratching, but that's where I started the whole DJing thing. But that's where I actually got the few turntables, what they're supposed to do, because I don't know. I was just moving you know, I didn't have any idea that you're supposed to blend the records together, or that was an art, you know, that was part of it. I had no clue. I just saw records. I knew what a record player was because my mom always had it. I was like, what else? That whole mixer thing was like, whoa, what is this box you have right here with all the switches for it?
Levels and switches. What is this?
Over there. How'd you make this song go over there, man? You know, to me, he was like a magician for a while. I was like, what the hell? But really, I was still in like the dancer mode right then. But that was my really first eye-opening. Went to like, oh wow, getting the chance to touch him, kind of mess around, like, oh man, you know, this is pretty cool. Can you go behind your back? You know, all the stuff that I would see, but it just, you know, we weren't there. And then I think later on, to speed up the story, he started throwing the parties.
And he was known for parties. Yeah. Bennis was like the king of the ditching parties. It's like those ditching parties, everyone knew.
Yeah,
everyone in high school, even if you were out of high school, you would know about his parties.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's what happened because I guess he got so directed in the more promoting side because that's where kind of the money was, and I didn't care, and I didn't even get it. You know, we were just at Kinko's making flyers at all hours of the night, and here you want to go, whatever. Once I learned, the fast forward. So he's the one that showed me kind of what was going on. When he started those parties, that was my little debut type of thing. I kind of knew how to mix. They were all his records. I didn't have a record to my name.
Oh shit!
And,
okay.
Yeah, I was at the place. I don't know if you remember the place. We used to call it the Fish Factory.
The Fish Factory.
That's it. That was like the first real memory of actually playing for people that I had I didn't know who they were. They weren't just friends of ours dancing around. And I was like, oh my God, whatever. And then just started.
Wasn't that the warehouse on C Street?
Yeah, I don't remember the street, but I remember something. There's a Fry's in there.
Yeah, there's a Fry's on C Street. Wow.
It tripped me out when we started getting to San Pedro, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first real, like, hands-on by myself. Like, whoa, they were like, oh, this is pretty cool. Whatever. And then you get the little girls kind of walking up, like, oh wow, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, And I just started trying to. I guess he started evolving his parties, and I started, trying to just get better with the DJing because I really wasn't into the making. I didn't have no money to put into get no warehouse or whatever the case is. But hey, you need a free DJ. Here I is. I don't even know what I'm doing. Or I'm just picking it up. So they didn't have any problem with, hey, we need somebody to play for hours while they do the door or whatever the case is. You know how it was back in the day. Like, one-man system. One guy collected the money, that type of stuff, and then whoever you got your friends DJing and. I think it's just as it progressed, I think that's when I ran into Oscar. And I remember that day because I was thinking to myself, and I was even thinking, like, man, how am I going to present this to Tiny too? Because when I heard of Oscar, they came up to me like, yeah, some dude wants to battle you out of wherever it was. And his name was Oscar. I want to say they showed me like an old flyer, and I want to say, it was like a Kinko's flyer.
Yeah.
So Oscar the Grouch, him coming out the can, all this stuff. And I was first in my mind, I was like, dang, like how the hell does he know who I am? But I think maybe you and Alex or you guys were friends. There was some type of relationship somewhere that I didn't know about at the time. So and they maybe have been putting a joke to me. They may have been like, this guy, he wants to get it, knowing that Oscar's like the coolest person in the world, whatever. This guy's going to get on you and all this other stuff. And I'm just like. And I think I want to say if my memory serves me right, was that you never had any parties at your house?
Possibly. It could have been at the house. It could have been at Dennis's.
Like this weird,
I forgot.
Yeah, because I don't remember where it took place, but I remember going there and feeling scared as hell. Like, what did I do to this dude? Like, first of all, I was like, I don't even know. So I'm like, how did he even hear about me to know? And like, what did I do?
Right.
Oh, take this guy off the set, whatever it was, It was so funny. We get there, and then basically just all we did was play. And we played, and then I don't know if it was a similar style or whatever the case was, but man, we were. It didn't turn out to be a battle at all.
It was battle.
I'm good, you're good. It was just like, and then I'm still having an extra pool of friends now. You and all. I was just like, man, these dudes are awesome. And I think other members, I could have sworn I've been at your house every day for some period of time.
Yeah.
It wasn't, us making trying to make a tape or whatever. It was just hanging out. I ended up having a really, out of that whole scary battle situation, I ended up with some, like, if I want to call him a DJing buddy or whatever, but one of the best friends, I could have during that time was just an Oscar. And you guys and your whole family were just so open, whatever. I'm like, what this little fool coming in every day? There's that one fool, you know what I mean? It's just, so I really appreciate the hospitality that you guys always showed me. That's
moms will be making burritos for everybody.
I tell you, if I never told you now, because now I'm old enough to recognize all that stuff. So yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. It was just awesome, and I learned so much over there too. Like, and that was just such a good time. At that time, I think we made like a couple of tapes or whatever. So we were just like on it. The techno scene was pumping, and
yeah, dude, you made
and I want to say like the last real good memory I have in that whole
How many
era.
tapes? How many tapes did you make with my brother? It was like it was a couple, right?
Yeah, the two. I don't know where the first one is, but I have the second for sure. The second, when someone put it online or whatever, and I grabbed it off of there and put it on myself and took it off there to have, because I missed that thing, you know, whatever. I think I only had like the 4-track tape version. Who's got a tape player right now? You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's hard to find a tape player. Yeah, that's true.
So I got that version, and man, so we made two. I like the second one. I don't even remember the first one. I don't even remember the first one, to be honest. Yeah. But I don't. Maybe Oscar has it.
He has it. He has it. He definitely has it.
Yeah, I'm sure he has everything.
Yeah, he's got everything on lock, probably saved up. Yeah, you should pay. If you don't have that one, I should hit him up. I was like, hey man, Mark doesn't have that first one. Send him a copy.
Oh man, man, with that second one on the tapes right now, is man, I remember. I said it just brings back so many interesting memories. I remember your brother.
Yeah, because you guys got really close to where you guys collaborated on that tape. That must have been really excited. You got the tape out, promoting it, selling it.
Oh, besides the tape, just the whole collaboration on everything. I was trying to take notes on all the things I could try to remember because my memories. But man, Oscar, I would come from DJing wherever I was playing at, go to Dare, which was after hours that they had there.
Old school after hours. Wow.
Miss my slot.
Yeah.
And just so I can get a little bit of pay, let me jump on his set, you know, whatever. And then we kind of had the same record, so we do doubles or some stuff, whatever, you know, people going crazy, whatever. But he was just that type of person, you know, whatever, you know, just, come on in, you know. I was just like, damn, dude, you just don't find people like that every day.
Yeah.
I loved Oscar, man. I still love Oscar. I'm just saying, but it is what it is, dude. And
that's dope, dude. So
all those great memories. I'm saying the last memory I have of you is you doing the grape bait thing.
Yeah.
That was like the
old school.
Yeah, the biggest rave at that time where I actually knew somebody in it. You know, it was like, Tiny has something to do with that shit, man. And it ended up being a bomb-ass party. You know, I said it stuck, burned into my brain forever, probably because of the name. I remember the heavy promotion that you were.
Oh, my God. Remember that?
So crazy, man.
The amount of flyers we were passing out like crazy. You were out there helping us too, probably passing out flyers. My brother.
That was a big thing. That was a big thing back then, especially to have you part of something like that. I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty huge, dude. It was pretty. So you guys do. So you and my brother did that first tape. You did the second tape. How did you get it out to the people? How did you get it? Were you selling it at events, friends?
Yeah, I'm glad you saw, because I'll start straying. But yeah, dude, your brother. I still tell my other friends to this day, because I had a box of tapes that I never used, and they were all red and blue cassette. Your brother went and unscrewed all those, put them all together. Sat up, I don't know how many nights or whatever, unscrewing.
Oh, shit.
Red tapes. Yeah, because we wanted it, because we had this idea. Remember the 3D? Remember, yes. Okay, the album was, or whatever, the tape was called 3D, and how do you get 3D? With the red and the blue lenses, right? So we put
one
and he
cover.
Was all with it, and he went and crazy went and unscrewed all those blue tapes, all those red tapes, and put them back together so we could have the blue double side, you know, whatever it is. So it was like, wow. That was it. So it was just tight looking already. So and then he would just put them in a backpack. We go to whatever little after hours or party. He have a backpack full of them. That's how I would sell them. And I think I was in Street Sounds at that time. So I'm sure there was some in there. And
yeah,
I think we were more just doing them hands on, because they were just better going off that way.
At different events.
Yeah, you know, you just gotta. It's just, you know. You get an easier access to your, I don't want to call them fans, whatever, just people who enjoy your work, you know.
Yeah, that enjoy your work. And
they're always, you know, the tapes are cheap. It wasn't like we were trying to make $1 million and, you know, it was just
$5 a pop, $5 a pop.
Dude, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's what we got, hands on.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. Wow. What do you remember back then, as far as like the most memorable events that you remember, if you kind of look back?
Well, then I'm gonna have to start with like, I went through the whole phase. I was doing good with the kind of techno thing, but I really didn't start breaking into anything until Lenny V let me on the Fry for Fives.
Nice, Lenny V, 5 for 5.
And he's the one that kick started me in a whole like different direction, because he had his own big events too. Like, cause he, he decided he wanted to do his own thing, and thankfully took me with him because he had some really good stuff and
amazing events. That Fry for 5 series was dope.
I played
legend.
Dude, my debut, I was behind Ron Decor. Just like, oh man, you're already starting with the big wigs, right off the gate here. But really, man, that did it. Being able to break into that little group right there.
Yeah.
And that was Lenny let me in, but it was through Frank C.
Okay. Right.
He had a huge play in all this, because I met him during the business days. He was the one that actually, he did a lot for me. He actually,
cool.
He actually helped get me to differentiate myself from the other DJs. He's the one that got, there's one thing to learn how to, you got them on beat,
right.
But there's more to it. There's more to it. A lot of people don't appreciate it because they're just looking for the music, but those ones that really do, they know what transition is. They know what, this type of thing. And he was a stickler for that stuff. Always on beat, always looking for transition, always hard, and, always kidding, but no, he was always, you got to do better like this guy. And that's what got me at least DJing the way that I did, enough to get noticed by someone else in order to pick me out of the sea of DJs. But when we were doing it, that's the only way you could do it.
Right,
you could go there and do it. There was no, click on my website or, here's my,
there was none of that. Yeah.
It's just none of that. On the spot, and if you ain't, see what happens. You're either going to do good that night or you're not going to do good that night. And
that's dope, dude. That's dope to hear that Frank C like really got you to that next level of being able to do the transitions, to be able to be more noticeable to promoters and whatnot. Absolutely. That's dope.
Yeah, I would be a fool to ever deny anything.
That's dope.
It was like thanks to that. But I mean, it's a collaboration. Alex is the one that put the stuff in motion. I wouldn't even known anything. He's the one that he knew Frank in the first place. When he was Mr. Fish. I don't even know why we hooked. I think Mr. Fish probably invited us to a club one night, and that's how we got introduced. And then he ended up coming to the house. Somehow we interacted and became cool. And, he was living with me for a while at one point in time. And we've been through a lot. Frank is still a really good friend of mine and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's been through a lot lately in the last year. I talked to him.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. The last time I spoke with him, I was kind of helping with this real estate thing. He was like, I don't know if he had just started doing it, but he had a lot of houses everywhere. So I was going checking the houses, because I was actually, before I started working for the Gracies, I was actually working for a real estate office. So I knew what needed to be done. That's not the first time I heard about houses that you go check on and let people in, so on and so forth. So I was helping him with that. But then once he sold all the houses, whatever, and everything, that was kind of the end of our business trip. But that was somewhat recent, and it had nothing to do with DJing. We were just doing it, just because we were still friends, type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I mean, I talked to him about a month ago. He's going through a tough time, but we all go through challenges and stuff in life.
Isn't going through a tough time right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially right now with COVID. Oh my God, it's crazy.
With the race, let's not even go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy times we're living in right now, bro.
Yeah, man, I don't want to do any editorials and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm straight on all that stuff,
That's dope, dude. So, Bennis had his part, Oscar, Frank C, Lenny V, huge, got your first gig at a big event following Ron Decor. That's dope.
And that's where it comes in, because then that's where the other people say, oh, he was on this, so
Right.
Oh, let's drag him. Let's get him from here. Let's get him from here. Oh, he works at Street Sounds.
Right.
All those guys that are coming out of and that's actually what helped too. I mean, that any DJ can tell you that if you have access to all the music, either before the other DJs do or whatever the case is, that always propels you, or can always assist you in your career if you can use it to your benefit. And that's one of the things. Street Sounds was a hot store back then, and man, I took advantage of it. I took advantage of that place, for sure.
And you worked. What year did you work? Did you remember what year that was?
They had, well, no, I know it was somewhere in the 90s. I think my golden years were somewhere in like the 92-ish.
92-ish, yeah.
Somewhere in going on, I believe. Because other than that, we used to know people that worked, and we go and get hooked up by people that work, whatever.
The records, yeah, all the white labels.
Yeah, no, for sure. Then when Frank C finally got the job, he pulled me along with him. So I was like, damn, I'm here at Street Sounds, right along with Raul.
Yeah,
who was another one. I mean, he wasn't so much hands-on, but I saw hanging around Raul, finally getting to meet him and be just kind of how he operates and how he takes people on these trips every time he plays.
Yeah.
You feel like an out-of-body experience type of thing. And so he kind of got me into, how to develop your own style, play, whatever you want to play. And I mean, if they're going to appreciate it, they're going to appreciate it. But just go to the extra length to kind of be creative. Don't just, grab two records, put them together. Just put a little of yourself into it.
Nice, right. Good advice.
And see what comes out, and it's always going to come out different than somebody else who puts the same two records together. And that's what I liked about DJ. Same two. I never got mad when somebody, he's playing the record I have. So, it didn't matter. None of that stuff matters. You got like a great selection, and you just know that you can create a vibe off of all time. You don't need one particular record or,
Right.
So it comes out of, whatever you can put your heart into your music. I think people get something back from that versus just, playing records like a jukebox.
Do you remember what was your, aside from that Lenny V party 5 for 5 playing right after Ron D. Core, is there any other events that you remember, like you're like, wow, back then?
That I was part of or that I just went to?
Both.
I was part of it. Oh man, I mean, back then it was like I was trying to play for some, but then we were still going to the bigger wig ones, happy that we snuck in or whatever the case is, still with that, and man, I can't even remember. There was so many of those parties back then, the whole Akhenaten's and
Akhenaten, right.
It was just
Holy Water Adventure.
It was a great time. It was just so overwhelming with stuff, and then I don't know, my stuff. Other than all of the Lenny V's parties, I loved. Then I kind of got into like the hard house scene after that.
Cool.
Kind of, I don't want to say a level below, but they were just doing other scale parties more.
Right, because that's when hard house started to kind of start to get a little bigger and bigger.
And right now, look at my story. I've already gone through how many music genres already instead of sticking with something. So I'm one of those people like, okay, well that's what's hot right now. Woo,
Yeah, right.
Here I am over here.
Right.
But I'm still committed to all that stuff. So that's the whole thing. I may have jumped, but I put everything into everything that I play. Dope. I got a memory. that I've been dying to tell you.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I'll tell you, one of the things about putting your passion into DJs, you played, I don't remember where it was at, but you played the Outlander remix, and I don't even know if you remember that song. It's a techno song called Outlander. Go Google it.
I remember Outlander.
Okay, well, you had the remix version, because the regular version was kind of just boring, and I was standing right behind you when you were playing, and right when it was getting ready to go to the break, you like looked at me and it did the little and you were doing all this stuff, and That was it. Whatever. Everybody's going bucking. I'm like, okay, dude, that's how you need to be. I mean, damn, he was into that. I mean, I don't know. It just, to me, it stuck with it. I'm like, dude, he was into that thing. But that was just a love for music right there. So, I mean, that's kind of how I played with energy. You know what I mean? And that always stuck to me because I was like, this dude is like, okay. That was honestly my best and, man, one of my last good memories of seeing you play, because you played for a while too.
Yeah, I played for a while too. Yeah, no.
Man, what's up, dude?
And I love that song, dude. I love that song, dude. I did get into it. Every time I DJ'd, I always got into it. You know, which also but what also reminds me of you, because when you would play, your body would dance.
Yeah,
that goes from the dancing part of your background, dude. Because you would dance when you would play. You would get into it. Your body would be like, ah.
Yeah, I'm jumping around for sure. Yeah. I was an idiot. Yeah, I know that, man. That's for sure. But that's my memory of you, though. So no, those two. I was just getting into that. I apologize. But I don't want. Did you ever hear of a gentleman called Michael Trance?
Yes.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to call that crowd. That was at that whole Hard House crowd. So I went in there and met a whole nother. Now, like I said, I already bought one. Michael Trance, Flavor. There was like all kinds of La Rock. All these.
La Rock is cool,
dude.
La Rock's my boy. La Rock, shout out.
That's when I started. Well, I mean, I had already, and I had forgot. I should have brought him up earlier. Like Ernie G. Was one of those people that would say, if it wasn't for him throwing those parties over there, no, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. I would be nowhere, because they would collab. I want to say he's probably collaborated with Alex, whatever. But I played for Ernie a bunch of times, you know what I mean? Because Ernie got into the promoter thing too. He was throwing a club at. Somehow we're in Lakewood one time, and I do not like clubs. I do not like to play, because I think, to me, if someone sees you,
right,
we, you know what I mean? Just get tired. I would assume they get tired of you. That was my perception of clubs, you know? So I played for very little clubs. He had one on Wednesday, which was really cool. I think it was like Platform Wednesdays, and I think I played for another club, which was Groovy Sundays. And those are the only two clubs that I really put my heart into really being there all the time, because it's kind of like the same people I knew anyway. So they knew what to expect, and they enjoyed it. But it really, to me, it was getting monotonous if you had to hear the same person.
Right.
Week in, week out. I was just like,
And Ernie's still out there. Ernie's still playing, man. Shout out to Ernie.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the posters of that hip hop thing and seeing them all doing all these old school rappers and stuff, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, you see him? He's like with Snoop Dogg. He's like with all these rappers and Little Ice.
Took a picture with the Cholo Fit dude and with all the other shit off. I was like, man, dude. So that's just crazy. And that's how I was listening
picture with the Cholo Fit dude.
Well, I think he was for sure. I think
he did. It's just funny.
Yeah, funny. Man. So and that's another example. Just people who stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look what he's doing. Who's doing that? He's probably the only DJ out of that thing just sucking it all up. You know, I don't know who else he has, but I mean, he's the only one on the posters I see, and that's just an interesting niche for him to be in. It's just like, wow, that's just cool.
It's cool because they he and I believe Mike was and I don't know who else is a part of that, but they created that niche. All that was really, really big in the 90s. All that rap and I think they've had some of the freestyle music and stuff, and they kind of like faded away. And for them to kind of bring it back and create their own niche and have their own target audience, they're really successful. And to see some of their shows and to see Ernie play with some of the artists, it's really cool, dude. So
and that's how good ideas take off. You know, they started here, and then next thing you know, hey.
Yeah, dude.
That's with everything. They just jumped on. That's pretty cool. But no, that tripped me out seeing it. I'm just like, wow, this guy's doing it big over here. I'm just like, whoa. I had another friend who did it. You know, DJ Errol?
DJ Errol?
Yeah.
No.
Chester, he's actually the DJ for Tommy Lee.
What?
That kind of happened in the Frank days too, because we were getting more into the scratching was kind of coming in. The DMCs were getting bigger, doing that was in a whole nother crowd. You know, we were doing the techno and the house thing, but then there was this other thing kind of Brewing, which was the DMCs.
The DMC, freaking Qbert just came out of nowhere. Fuck, Qbert just destroyed everybody.
That's where my life ended right now, is paying homage to Qbert, because really even when I first saw a turntable, as I said in what it's just that noise, that scratching. I wanted to learn how to do that. Where does it come from? How are you doing that? But just that wasn't the focus going through all that time. Me and Oscar. Actually, when me and Oscar we liked that stuff too. So we scratched on our tapes all the time. We loved it, because RAW is a believer in the hip hop. He was scratching all the time. So I was like, hell yeah, type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was always there, but it wasn't until I actually stopped all the wanting to DJ stuff that I got into the scratching. Because man, once I got into that was it. My whole life kind of changed from that.
It was just scratching, right?
Man, it's tough because it is just scratching, but it's like, man, when you get into it, like
it's scratching, but for those that don't know, when you're really good at scratching, you get to a point where some people don't get to that level, like Qbert, but you get to a point where you can create music and create your own sound from scratching.
Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing, and only a DJ can hear that. If you're a DJ and you have those ears, you can hear that.
Yeah.
Or to the normal ear, it's like, what's he doing? They're just scratching on a record. No.
Wait, let me take you even back a step. That is the style. Once you start developing a style, you can now make scratching pleasurable to people who don't even know what it is. Look at Portishead.
Right. Great point.
You can go to a cabaret. You can go to a cabaret and have some. If they know what they're doing with the scratching, you don't have to be in there. If you know what to do with your scratching, entails so many things. It isn't just making a bunch of noise.
Great point.
So you can scratch to anything, and that's how you develop your style, is by scratching to these different genres of music. Look, my boy is a scratcher, hangs around Mixmaster Mike, but DJs for Tommy Lee. He's a rock. You know what I mean? And look at what Limp Bizkit for a while came out. They had their little DJ. Korn had their DJ. So you can scratch to a lot of things. It just depends on how open you are to having a guy sit there on a turntable and do your cuts, whether it's a guitar riff, a flute riff, vocal. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be, it's fresh. Scratching and Qbert, they have evolved it. Like I said, it completely changed my whole life as far as music and what I was into, and I gladly gave up even needing 2 turntables, because to scratch, really, you need 1 turntable mixer and something to play your tracks. Go.
Right.
Go. And that's all that I've ever really wanted to do. And you have full control. There was no other control of music you could possibly think of to do with your bare hands. Like, DJs and all stuff. I appreciate all that stuff, but just touching 2 platters and just every
you have the control in your fingertips.
Yeah, every motion, and then you have the motions is one thing, and now you have the pattern of clicks.
Yeah, right.
Qbert has over, I don't know what is that whole scratch diary of, and they're all patterns and times of curves and clicks.
Yeah.
That's pretty complicated, which is I see why it kind of scared a lot of people, because that's a lot of or scared a lot of people who wanted to become kind of famous quick. Like, that's what kind of, I guess we're going to get on that right quick. That's what kind of made me shy away from DJing, was that it just seemed like people wanted to be famous so fast that it was just, let me just hurry up how to mix. Maybe I know this person here, and next thing you know, you got a Tiesto out of nowhere when this guy's been breaking his neck, going all this hard, and then now just because you had this program or just happened to know the right people, you was able to jump.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call anybody out, I'm not saying it, but it just they kind of skipped and are reaping the benefit from these people who are really working. And it seems like technology is kind of just making that
Yeah.
easier and easier. You know, now
I think
a party. I don't even need turtle. Let me just plug this thing in here, do it in here. You know, and it's all great. It's all great. It's just I lose. I don't know. I could never go in that direction, and you can never. There's never going to be a machine. Still hasn't. That's going to scratch for you. You can push a button and it's going to go.
That's true.
But it'll never, ever give you the control you're looking for. It's never going to give you the scratch you're looking for. Even if it gave you orbits on this channel, crabs on this channel,
it still won't.
You still have to figure out how to put it together to make it sound like something.
Right, that's true.
It's just pushing the button and nothing's going to ever duplicate that. And that's, man, I like devoted my life to that after scratching. I mean, after all the DJ stuff.
The DJing stuff, yeah. And it was tough because back then it was like you were DJing, everyone's using the turntables, and then you had technology slowly creeping in. You had the CDJs, and then you had you had the people had the ability to create their own music at fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Back then in the 90s, trying to buy a fucking studio was expensive as fuck. I remember Oscar putting together the White Room studio and the amount of money that he would fucking pay to get every single little fucking component.
Wow.
Now, I remember that shit. And now for some of the major superstar DJs to kind of get that technology that's cheaper and you're able to produce the music live. Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you. I mean, but you can't. I mean, the only other argument I have is like, if you're already good at your raw art, the technology should just make you better.
Exactly.
And that's what I would have. Had I got into, I honestly think that I would maybe be DJing right now. Had I known what I know, had I known the scratching that I know now back in my DJing thing, I could have maybe done an RAW type thing. RAW be relevant forever because he entertains you.
True.
While you're hearing stuff, and then he not just putting the fader in the middle and going getting a martini, and he's doing some things for you just all the time, regardless of what he's playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of DJs today. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of DJs today that push a button, walk away. You know, others do put in the work. I have to give respect to some of the big superstars out there. They actually do take the time to produce music and they have the ear for it. But because that technology, it's there and it allows people to get lazy.
Yeah, I'm just taking it to the lowest level, just your average DJ. It's just so easy now for you to get your thing, put out a perfectly mixed tape.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about pinching any, pinching any needle to slow it down.
Good point.
It's already doing it for you. Now you can ride your unicycle in the background and set your name on fire back there so you can get noticed. And I'm just like, man.
Damn, dude.
I'm glad I was in the era that we did where it's like your music spoke everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at this, like Doc Martin. Let's go, like he's never been
He's never stopped, bro. He's never stopped.
Look, and he was never the most. Let's be honest, he was never the most technical. You weren't gonna see him at a DMC, but
you'll never see Doc Martin battle. But his sets are perfect.
No doubt.
What he chooses. As far as his music arrangement and production, as far as what is being played next after the other,
man,
it's flawless.
He was one of the first that I ever really met out of all, because he used to come to the Street Sounds for whatever reason. I'd be like, oh, that's him, holy moly, type of thing. And just listening to him, he was telling somebody that I was working with how he gets his music, and I just gained a whole new respect for him. This guy travels all over the world, grabs music, goes to weird old places in India and grab some kooky, and I'm just like, okay, now I understand why your sets are the way they are and your music speaks for itself. Look at all the trouble you go through to get these unique tunes.
Yeah, right. Good.
That's
wow.
Why you are who you are. So all that stuff, I was trying to take from all that stuff from those people who were really doing it, because he's still doing it now. Like you said, all
still doing it.
We're on it.
It's crazy because Doc Martin was the first DJ that I ever heard when I went into the underground scene. It was at Flammable.
Why are you gonna? That was, dude. I have my notes here. it was him. Like, if I had to go back, like, what really turned me into, okay, this is what I want to do with my DJing.
Yeah.
Into some club. He was playing, and you couldn't see him. Like, back then, you couldn't, like, at the rage, you couldn't never see the DJ. So I'd never knew what he looked like until he
That's so true. Yeah, you would never see the DJ.
You're a giant ass dude with dreadlocks. You look like a version of Lenny V at the time, whatever. But
he did.
He had a huge, and so I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool, whatever. But so you never got to see him, but he played, and I remember because that was the first record I bought. He played, and it's still one of my favorite songs, Petra, Just Let Go.
Oh, wow.
And I saw, because that was during the house time, because he was playing like whatever house, and he played that, and the dance floor lit up. Yeah. Like, it just changed. And at the club we were at, everybody thought they're all, vulgars and stuff, so they were dancing. So just when that song came on, and the command that it kind of had over the dance floor, and the song was dope. There was,
dope
banging system and all this stuff. So it gave me chill. And I was like, shit, that's what it does. That's what it does. Because it was telling these people what to do, it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Because they were dancing all fine. This song comes on and they're doing this other stuff. I mean, you can just tell when they really got into something, the crowd was into something, And so I was like, okay, that's what a DJ is supposed to do. Command the crowd, And me being a dancer, that was how I always envisioned it. What would I want to hear to get me out on the floor? What would I want to be hearing? And that's actually how I was always projecting my DJing and always bringing in stuff like, man, would I get out there and, be head spinning? Yeah, let's play. And that's how I always live. Not just what I want to play. Oh, I'm going to. I was feeding off of whatever these guys are going to feel. And if they're feeling this is the route I'm taking. I'm not just going to. And if you need to force stuff on them, like I was kind of doing for the kind of like the micro trance I want to see, I want to call it. I was bringing tidbits that I used to play in the techno thing because now the house was kind of getting so 808 heavy. And I don't want to call it monotonous, but yeah, it was. I could pull stuff that they've never heard of that we don't play anymore. The old techno, whatever, that was a little bit slow that you have to put on +8 to play that. And they're like, oh, wow. New tune, and just open up a whole new genre of thing for them to enjoy versus what they were always getting, the same old Robin S. Those top.
Robin S, right.
Push the feeling, whatever. I was trying to steer them away from that stuff.
Push the feeling. Wow, that brought some memories.
You know what I mean? And look, they were just. There's more to it than those songs, what I mean? Like, there's a whole thing you guys, if you like this tempo, you should like this tempo. I was trying to get them to like music in general, because definitely what I learned from playing from the other crowds, like when I was playing for the What and the Dare type of crowds, they're just music lovers. They'll dance to anything.
True.
I could pull out whatever my they don't they don't care. They're not looking for a particular sound. Get out there and party. Oh, I'm not familiar with this one. Let me kind of get off, which is how it ended. I was like really burnt out on when the hard house scene got to a certain point where it just wasn't even, the music wasn't changing at all. It was just people were jumping on the bandwagon quick to make money. The same song. You just get a heavy 808. Put a sample
just blasted. Heavy 808 just blasted.
Some kind of sample. Get it. And then, there you go. Here's I'm just like, man, okay, enough is enough. Scratching, you don't get that.
So is that kind of where you transitioned out? You just kind of stop playing because of that?
For sure, yeah, because we were, and during that phase out time, it was easy to decide because we were scratching back then. I was having so much fun watching these videos of Babu and Cuba doing all the crazy stuff that I've never seen in my life and trying to learn versus going to something that we're going to every day and we're not even being appreciated because if you're not playing the top bangers or whatever, the ones they've heard on the radio 1,000 times, which never made sense to me. It's like, if you're hearing this song on the radio, I surely don't want to hear it in the club.
Right.
I heard on the radio. I want to hear some. It's a difference. I guess depends on
different. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to club to shake your butt, fine. Put the radio song, whatever. Right. When you're in that kind of underground scene, I don't want to hear Charlie. You know, when I go there's been on there, I want to hear the new techno or whatever they can. You know, I don't want to hear the one that's been
played out.
You know, one that I hear every day, and then here I go to the club and hear that song again. It's like, no, man, this was your some original. The radio, that's what the radios were for, to hear all the original music. Let the radio play the monotonous stuff. Or the stuff that they finally made commercialized or whatever, however you want to call it. But I would definitely not want to hear radio stuff when I go to a club unless I said I'm just going to go party, shake my butt or whatever, and listen to some ludicrous type stuff, which I know.
Yeah, right.
I expect to hear that, you know, shoot.
Dude, so what happened after that? So you got into the scratching. You really focus and try to hone your skills there.
I didn't even have a job for a time. I was over here putting out resumes and just scratching. The rest of the time. The rest of it just absorbed because it was so much.
Yeah.
So much. And then this is even before he came out with his Scratchlopedia. So
yeah,
just trying to catch up because I jumped on the wagon late. My friends were actually practicing this stuff, and they'd come over my house and actually practice, and I'd be sitting there, PlayStation, you know, just video gaming it up. And when I finally took notice that they're doing some of the stuff that we're watching, I'm like, oh my God, that's what you guys have been doing. So I jump on the bandwagon. And so now I'm trying to catch up to my two friends who are already doing dope, whatever, catching up on the videos. And eventually, like 1999, because I can 100% say that for sure, we just got good enough. We like made a group. You know, we had like a scratch group for whatever. And we used to like just go around. And at that time, scratching was in. Like I said,
the beat nuts.
They were having
the beat junkies. I said the beat nuts, beat junkies, and
the beat. They had so many. They were having battles at Guitar Center. They were having battles at these little random record stores. I mean, it was just. We went to the USC campus, and they had a scratch club.
That's the thing. That's when you had different types of crews that were just scratching crews.
It was
like late 99, 2000.
Yeah, and it was
Beat junkies
awesome.
were fucking huge.
It was awesome, and the whole thing is nobody scratches the same.
Yeah, right.
And you can kind of tell where some dude took something from Cuba, whatever, but all the people even know the moves that never comes out the same. Everybody's style is different. And that's what I loved about it, because you just never know what you're gonna hear. You never know what you're gonna hear out of the next person. Girls, some of the girls that I've seen are just ridiculous.
Badass.
I'll throw a name around it. Tyra from Saigon. Oh my Lord, super good. Produces music. You gotta look her up when you have a chance.
I'll look her up.
Right now, she's like, all her stuff is probably all old, but man, back then, killing it.
Wow.
Killer Jewels. The other girl, she guest starred on one of Cuba's videos. It was like, you gotta be kidding me. So it was out of control, and I just loved it because it was just what I had always wanted to do. The scratchings were just so complex than what they were.
What was the name of your crew? Your scratch crew?
We had the Super Saiyans.
The Super Saiyans?
Yeah, they came from the Dragon Ball Z thing or whatever.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah, that name kind of got burned or whatever, and then we changed it to Scratch Dialects.
Ooh, Scratch Dialects. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Right now, that's where we left it at right now. There's still a couple of us left. I think I just gave up on it like about a year ago, and that's about it, man.
So you guys did that for a few years, and
and 99 is when we formed, and then we were actually scheduled. My friend Lenny threw a New Year's party at the sports arena, and we were going to go against the Executioners.
Oh, nice! This was when? How long ago?
Oh, this is in 99. This had
99, 2000?
Yes, there was that party to go from there. And man, but I mean, we didn't end up battling, but man, it was just cool to actually be recognized up to that point to where like, oh, you know, we're going to put you here with the Executioners. I'm like, man, you know, shoot, we're here, you know, but it was just the party. But just the fact that that's what we did when it was time to go to these little Guitar Center battles, go to wherever and just have fun with it way more than I did with just regular DJing. It's just a different vibe. It's just a different, you know, I mean, no one's there to really dance. They're there to hear you scratch.
Just to hear you, yeah.
Just to hear you scratch. They're not worried about what song you're going to play, you know, whatever. They're going to walk out if they don't like this. You know, they want to hear some noise. They want to hear chicky, all the stuff you got.
They want to hear you scratch, That's dope, dude.
This is great. It was And that's why I kept it, even though it was a very small, you know, now it funneled down the skills that you gain from that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know, put me on a platter. Those, you can't get them pressing buttons.
You can't.
Never.
Hell no.
Never.
That's one of the hardest things.
That's why I'm just so glad that I jumped in when I did.
Yeah, as a DJ, it's one of the hardest things to do. I mean, you can choose music, produce it, and kind of arrange it on samples, and you can put it together. Eventually, any person can learn how to produce. If you're really, really good, you can push buttons and actually drop tracks here and then kind of make your own song. But scratching is on another level. It's the movement. It's like playing drums. You gotta practice.
Everybody and it's true. Everybody can learn to play a drum, but just they're not all gonna be whatever that one tattoo dude or whatever his name is.
Right, like Travis Barker.
Like, there you go.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna be him. Not everybody, you know, even if they can play. So it's just but it doesn't mean that everybody can't play. It's just you're going to hear different levels and different styles of that same drum set.
Right. Right.
I'm just like, man, you don't get any better than this. And to me, it's just like a forgotten art. Just the fact that people were more to shy away from it. Even some of my friends that be DJing for years, I'm like, how do you?
Because it's the hardest thing to do. It really is.
Don't give it a try. Just like mixing was to me. I mean, I couldn't tell left from right channel, but what do you do?
Practice.
Like anything. And it just depends what you want to do. And it is difficult. Won't even lie. It is frustrating. You know, just it is frustrating, but I mean it is, and that's why I kind of quit. You know, I'm almost going to be 50 now, and then I'm like still catching up on scratches that I should have had back in like 2000 something. And I'm just like, man, what did you? But see, I got it all wrong. It's not even. I shouldn't have been trying to be comparing myself and catching up, and just do it for myself. I miss it to death. Just because it's almost like to me. You probably remember. Did I ever bring skateboards to your house or whatever? It's that therapeutic type thing. You know what I mean? It's like somebody playing guitar. Scratching is the same.
Do you still have tables?
No, I got rid of them just this last year. I said that last little scratch thing I put up was it. I actually got rid of them.
Okay.
On a
do you miss them?
Match decision. Yeah, I'm a hothead. You know what I mean? So I'll put this shit on eBay. I mean, put this stuff on eBay. And it was gone. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, what did you do that for? And now I'm like wanting to scratch, and I'm just like, so. But really, I think about it. What would I be doing? You know, it's a double-edged sword because I'm thinking like, what would I be doing with it? But what was I supposed to be doing? I was doing it because I like to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, it took me so many years out of my life to even get to a comfortable spot where I have, like, you know, I mean, I've always had fun scratching, but at some point, like you said, it gets to where you can just do all kinds of just crazy. Once you understand the kind of mathematics and mechanics between the clicks and the things or whatever, it just opens up a whole door of just, whoa, now I get why Hubert locked himself in the closet for 2 years and did all, you know, comes out looking like he does, you know, out of control, you know, and the rest of his crew the same way. D-Styles, all those guys, man, it's just like.
Hubert's a beast, man.
Must be nice.
Hubert is a beast, man. He's the best. He's the best that's ever done it.
Dude.
Hands down.
And you know what's crazy? He's doing that off of a loss.
Yeah.
The last video that I saw, I saw him in before he did all this. DJ David won whatever something. It was like
DJ David was a beast too. That dude, where'd that cat from? He was from Germany, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but that was the big thing. They was like, oh, DJ David.
DJ David, yeah. I remember that dude.
Stuck out to me in that thing too, because he was the one that came. I don't know if you remember. He came with the record that had like all these different holes drilled in the record, and he put on windows all going, woo!
Yep.
And then you know what? He fails there, but then comes back and ends up winning every competition since then. Gets banned from competing.
Yeah.
All of it, and invents
a
complete Scratchtopia, whatever
That's crazy,
you want to call it. Just stuff that you would never imagine what could be done. And it was so funny. I'll tell you right quick a funny story about Frank too. Is when I was learning that, and you know Frank as good as I do. It was funny because Frank could always scratch. That was one of the things that I used to always beg him to try to teach me. He was still showing me.
He could always scratch. Yeah.
He had a really clean too. He had a really style, really clean. It was so funny that once I learned all the new stuff. I think the last time we came together, him and Monique came over to my house. We were getting ready to go to a party. So I showed him, I was like, oh, look at this. And I couldn't afford a vest axe or anything yet. So I was like doing this on like a American DJ or whatever. But I could still all the crabs and all that stuff. So I showed him all this stuff. And after I was done, Monique goes, oh, bumps him. Like, oh, isn't that nice? And Frank's like, oh, he's just flicking the fader, man. Blah, 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 blah. So that was his way. But it was funny because he liked it, but you know how Frank is. So his way of appreciation was just like, oh yeah, but he's just flicking the fader. But it's so funny that years later he hit me up. I guess he knew some group guys. Like, yeah, are you still scratching? I might know some people who need some cuts. I was like, oh, okay. So at least he did appreciate it enough. He appreciated it enough to where he threw my name out there. When you could have scratched, but I guess he was admitting to me that I learned or whatever.
Dude, that's dope, dude. That's fucking dope.
Man, that's it, man. That's when my life turned, man, to the scratching, dude.
Dude, what kind of advice can you give people out there that want to learn how to scratch and just learn that craft?
Come on, man. Now, when I started this, we had videos. You had to look at the videos that we have back then. You had to try to figure out what Babu's doing from a camera being filmed in the crowd. Now we have hands-on, first-person videos on YouTube for days, and the scratches are broken down for you. We didn't have nobody to break. We had to hear it.
Good point.
Before they started doing this, we had to hear the scratch and figure it out.
Holy shit, that's a good point. Never even thought about that.
Now they got it broken down. Oh, orbit is 2 clicks and 2. We didn't know that. We were like, it's a double flare inside. We were trying to just somehow mimic the name, or not mimic. I'm sorry, mimic the sound.
Because there was no YouTube back then. That's right.
No, nothing.
Other
than the video, like I said, you put in you can see them battling, but they didn't go hands on.
And it's all grainy because it's a VHS tape.
Eventually, Cuber did go hands on. He had his, scratch with me tapes or whatever they were, where he did that and he broke them down. But that was all late. Although we had already learned all that. Now they got it step by step, so there really isn't. My advice is to get out there and look, because it's easier than you think now, because they break it down for you. You don't have to go through the hard part of
right.
Okay, here, you want to do this? Stick it. Whatever. You can, they just break it down for you so easy now that you can Google it. There's all kinds of fools doing stuff that I'm just doing now that they did in a month that took me years to do.
Right.
Because I never saw it broken down. I can only see my friends, trying to figure out how fast they're
try to figure it out by hearing it.
Imitating the strokes of because you know what their cuts are, so you got to figure out are they open cuts or closed cut, type of thing.
Yeah.
From there, now they're telling you start with your fader open. It's like, wow.
Damn.
There's a lot that technology does. If you're already good with your craft, the technology should only help you do better. Like crazed people. They're good with you. Now you got virtually. I guess when you use like Serato and stuff like that. I had Tractor for a while. You have 4 other turntables you can be using.
Do you think it's important? Do you think as a DJ today, do you think it's important to know and really understand vinyl and try to learn that, or versus Serato?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were going to point to something else, because I see arguments all day long that I don't even get drawn into as far as should people learn like turntables before they do this one. But as far as Serato is,
right,
to me that I was using Tractor. I wasn't using vinyl, but that's as close to vinyl as you can get. It was a piece of vinyl. It was able to read electronic you know, whatever it does. You know,
Right.
I don't even know what the magic is between all that stuff. Well, I'm sure it's just, but that was great. All it did was tell me that I didn't have to switch records.
Right.
You know, I just put every song on this one freaking record.
One piece of vinyl.
That's great. You know, whatever, fine. I don't have to go moving my, you know, I'm not going to learn needle drops, you know, because I can't go to the samples, because I can have all my samples just be the button, you know.
Yeah.
Hit the button, I'm on the next sample. Hit the button, I'm on the next. That's fine.
It's more efficient.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't have to carry shit.
No doubt. So, no, I love the Serato thing, especially if you're going to stick with that. Like, if you're trying to keep that alive, what else can you do other than the CDJs and going to a straight controller?
Yeah.
Now you're not doing anything, but just, you know, you're going to get better at Street Fighter, if anything, you know, hitting all the little buttons, but.
Damn, dude, that's dope.
I don't know. I don't know if it's important now, like I said, because too many people have made it without it.
Right. Good point.
It just depends on what you want to do, you know?
Right. What do you think was your biggest struggle, or the thing that you remember as a DJ? Was it the DJing, trying to like DJing into the underground scene, or was it the scratching part and trying to find some success there? What do you think was the more of a challenge between those two areas? The
scratching, like I said, I never aspired. We never started scratching going like, oh, DMC, you know, whatever. That was an art.
Right.
That's like skateboard. I never got on a skate. I mean, I was sponsored for a while and did all that stuff, but I never got on a skateboard thinking, oh, I'm gonna be Tony Hawk tomorrow. Whatever. It was just something that I enjoyed doing from the heart. It just, like I said, it's a therapeutic type of thing. Scratching is that same way, especially when you get into it. As far as we did, like as far as like Cuba and them, they can scratch all day long and do it for free, you know, whatever. It's just they
started because they loved it as well.
And it's wasn't because of no money. They just making some crazy tapes. Next thing you know, like, oh, people are listening to us go back and forth for an hour. Let's sell it, you know, type of thing. You know?
Yeah.
And I get it. And that's it. Once you get to that point, it's like playing a guitar. It's just like with any guy to go, you know, I know people would go and just, you know, go get this and just strum on, you know, because they can. Like, I don't know anything about a guitar, but just the fact that they can go and they know what strings to pluck, start making man. That's
dude.
So scratching takes that turn if you can take it there. And then, like any instrument, it's a little bit tough to play, but now you've got the visual, as we already said. With all the media out here today, it is. Even with skateboarding, we didn't have all that. They could teach you how to kickflip. I've been over here busting my ankles for years trying to figure it out. They have step by step where your foot should be, for every trick you could think of.
It's crazy, man.
So it's just a matter of what you kind of want to do, because I don't know if it's useful right now. Like I said, it's just if that's an aspect of DJing that you enjoy, I would say hurry up now before there is no turntables or whatever the heck they're doing, you know?
Right. So do you miss the game, dude? You miss DJing in public events or scratching?
I miss scratching. Never the DJing was done
long time ago.
I mean, actually, let me take it back. If I can go and do a respect crowd, if I can do one of these dedicated, oh man, oh good. But if I had to go, if I was just trying to take a time machine and try to go back to where, the 98 just showed me, or that's what was around that time. 98 just showed me that, you know, if I didn't follow the jungle scene, whatever, the scene out of that was just going way of the radio and just not in a direction that I've never wanted to be on. You know, a lot of parties I played at, they were like, oh, Power 106 type of thing, but they were doing that to get the commercials, to get their party on the air, stuff like that. The DJs would have to be there, but other than that, I wasn't with that stuff. You know, I was never trying to be on there. I wanted to keep it underground.
Always.
And it's just,
dude, it's crazy because even myself, like I never knew that you transitioned into the scratching world. I never knew that. I never knew that you were a part of this crew and you were battling other crews. I never knew that. Right now, this is new to me.
Oh, wow.
I never knew that, dude. So that blows me away. That's the one thing my biggest takeaway from this conversation I'm having with you, because I thought for so many years you played, and then you kind of stopped, and then you stopped playing. I had no idea that you continued and you became more of a scratch. It's crazy. It blows me away.
Yeah, well, I said the last time. I said the only time that you were maybe you weren't there, but I could swear like everywhere. It was when we went to your house. I said one time I brought the 2 friends that I had scratched with, and we were at it, and we just went for I forget what reason. Honestly, we must have went to go see Oscar for something.
Yeah.
For something, and it just happened to bring him, but it ended up being kind of a party situation because he has turntables everywhere, and so before long, everybody's touching turntables, and we ended up a little session right there, and then then was like I think Oscar had seen. Oh, okay, that's what he's doing now, because I was full blown, Hubert, where they following him like a zombie, whatever. Because it's just so amazing to me.
It is, dude.
All this stuff was just so amazing, and it was what I wanted to do, and there was nobody cheering for it. So it's not like a going to go DJ thing. This is just stuff you do just because, and the people who want to hear it, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear what you're going to do with this thing.
Right.
They don't care about the song. They want to hear you scratch.
Wow.
And that was what I've always wanted. And just someone that wants to hear really what you're about. I mean, that's it. There's no commercial scratching. There's no such thing as it. You can't have a commercial scratching.
You can't. That's
I'm
wild,
not going to play Robin S. Scratch.
Scratch.
There's no such thing you can do with that. Scratching is honestly, you go out there and that's the best example I say. It's like playing a guitar or playing a piano freestyle. Right. You know what I mean?
So, dude, looking back, if you look just back of everything, what do you think was the one thing that you took away from everything? Whether it's the scratching, whether it's the events that you played, the underground days.
Man, for sure, stick with it.
Yeah.
Stick with whatever path. Stay with it. DJing your thing, wherever it may take you, but DJing your thing, just stick with that, and you'll probably have a lot more longevity than what I did, like jumping around. And then I just got tired, and I went from that to, like I said, scratching. And besides scratching, I was still skating. I'm over there playing games. At one point, whatever, I got into, like now, I was like, got into boxing, jiu-jitsu.
I know, I see that tank top right there. I see that tank top. Gracie.
Yeah, that's where I work, man. I've been working for those guys for like 10 years. And listen, got into all that stuff. I had no clue. I mean, I've honestly been into martial arts like all my life, but I had no clue that I'd be making a living at like one of the most famous families in the world, I guess. That
dope.
I didn't even know what the UFC was and all that stuff when I met these guys. So it was just kind of crazy.
Wow.
My life tastes like that's so weird, man. I tell you.
You're like a walking weapon now.
Nah, not even close, man. I'm just walking. A walking defend me thing, man. That's probably how I ended up with all these things. I've never been one to judge people, and I'm not an angry person always trying to fight them, but I've always wanted to just be able to defend myself. But I'm as happy as can be and can get along with anybody, even when people don't like me. I still get along with them. So it's like, dang.
That's the one thing I remember you, dude, is that you've always been cool. I don't think I've ever seen you upset, or I don't think I've ever seen you snap at anyone. You were always really cool, getting along with everybody. I've never seen any negative.
Yeah, no, I never saw myself as
it was cool.
Else.
It was always positive, dude. You're always a positive dude, man, from the beginning.
Try. What else can you do? I think you can make more, whatever you want to say. You can catch more flies with honey than, whatever it is. So I never saw. And to me, I said, we had just brought it up, maybe from the martial arts thing, there's always someone better than you. So me going into this DJing, thinking that I'm the bomb, and there's people like Raul around, Frank is over here teaching, it just doesn't. So this is never my take, was to be better than someone else. I was just doing it to enjoy it. And my thing was never to grandstand on anybody else. You don't know who that person is. And sure enough, those people end up being promoters. Oh, man, Mark was cool. Didn't say nothing new. Let's put him on the flyer. Dang, so.
Hey, dude, it's so funny. It's so funny what you just said right now, because I've interviewed a few people, and that's the reoccurring thing. What you just said right now. It's like, be cool. You never know who's going to be a promoter. Yeah. Now, oh, Mark was cool. Let's put him on a flyer. Let's put him at an event. So it's. I've heard that so much from people. It's like, be nice, be cool, because you have no idea who this person is,
exactly.
or who he's going to be.
And that's in life. I take that.
That's in life. Yeah, great point.
I take that in the life. So I've been so lucky with the people that I've run into, and made sure that I didn't burn any crazy bridges, because you just don't know, like now, the podcast guy, if I ever needed some kind of publicity, here it is. You just never know. I mean,
True.
So I've always tried to be cool with everybody I'm meeting, unless they just like stick a gun in your face, and then you can't really be friends like that. You didn't know I had my car jacked back in the day, or
I remember.
That was actually a joke on that kind of thing.
I remember.
I was really trying to get along with this guy.
I remember you got your car got jacked, and someone took out a gun. I remember that. I remember. I didn't want to bring it up, but okay.
Yeah, no,
I remember that.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing I was pulling from the DJ, man. I'd be driving to these clubs on Civics on Dayton's, going, like, oh man, sooner or later,
it's gonna happen.
I had like so many side things. I said I wish I could just have focused strictly, just be Mr. DJ, whatever, blah blah, maybe, but I just had so many.
It's all good, dude, because you went to a path of being able to fucking learn how to scratch and be really good at it. That's amazing in itself. There's so many DJs out there that would love to learn that side of it.
Man, they should. They should. That's my advice. They should, because it's easier now than it was when I started.
Yeah, you have YouTube now. Oh my God, brother! Awesome, brother. But hey, brother, it was great talking to you. I loved it. This was so much fun catching up with you. To kind of go over your stories for the last like 20-something years was freaking amazing. I had no idea that you went from DJing in the undergrounds to becoming a battle DJ. That was crazy for me. No one ever told me, so that was a surprise to me, dude. That's dope.
I never won anything, so let me let that be known. I never won anything. It was kind of funny because we would go into those contests. Yeah. And I would enter, but it was never to win. We would just like to fill up, because these little guitar tunes would fill a space, and you got 3 guys from your own crew, and there's only like one guy. You have a 3 chance of win. One of my friends did win because I ended up taking out one guy. I lost. Some other guy took out somebody else, and then my other friend won. So it's like, I would never go in to win, but it was fun just to kind of go up there and watch people go, oh wow,
and compete for fun. It was cool.
And sometimes the people who will win, it's only because they entered.
Yeah.
People are so scared to go. I mean, I was too, but I mean, some people just don't want to go in just on fear alone. Right. One guy goes up there and he may not be the best guy. He wins because they only got like 3 contestants. Just like, wow. Right. So we would go, but I never won anything like that. But I definitely have fun meeting all those people, running into people like D Styles and finally seeing those people.
Right.
So, man, and I appreciate it anyway. Thanks for all this.
That's dope, dude. Dude, thanks for being a part of the podcast, dude. People are going to love your story, dude. I got so much respect for you, dude. You've always been a cool cat from the beginning. From the beginning, always, dude. From the days we used to go to some of the raves and undergrounds in the 90s, you've always been humble.
Oh, man.
Humble in the way you carried yourself. So when I think of Marc Anthony, I think of the word humble.
Oh, man.
Always. So much respect, brother.
I appreciate it, dude. I hope this podcast keeps going, man. It's a good thing you got going over there, man. That's cool, man.
Thank you, brother.
Reaching out to all these guys. It's pretty cool that you want to even go through these people's stories, because it could help some of the DJs now that kind of want to change things. Oh, everything is a loop. How everything does.
Right. Everything's a loop, and just to hear everyone's stories, dude, it's really cool. It's like it can inspire somebody. There's some kid out there wanting to learn how to scratch. There's some kid out there, having trouble. He hears this podcast. He's going to be like, damn, I'm inspired. I'm going to go do what Mark told me to do. I'm going to go jump on YouTube and start practicing. I'm telling you, man, it happens like that. So
I hope so. If I'm inspired anybody, that's great. And, that's been the whole thing. Anybody who's even thought my name of even putting it on the flyer, so it's all it was all gravy to me, because it was just, I don't know. That's what everybody kind of wants. I kind of, I had my little time and I appreciate it. And I'm just glad that people saw or heard enough to where they would even think a thought of me to put on a flyer or to do a party or something like that. That I've impacted, them enough. Like, oh, let's put this guy on here. So
you definitely had some contribution in the underground scene. That's for damn sure.
Definitely locally. I'll take the low, for
sure. Yeah. So much respect to that, brother. So much love, brother. Respect. Great talking to you. And I'll talk to you really soon, brother.
All right, you take care.
Let's keep in touch, dude.
Oh man,
keep in touch.
We have been. I think we've been doing good, man. So it's cool.
We got to go shooting. I know you go out there and shoot. We got to go shooting.
You want to go there? Yeah, that's my other hobby right there. But that's something that's another podcast altogether.
We'll get into another part. We'll have a shooting podcast.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm down with that, dude. All right, brother. Much love, brother.
And you're gonna close me out or whatever.
I'll close you out right here. You want to do anything?
I've been on Zoom, so I don't know what the hell.
I was gonna close. Much love, brother.
All right, man.